Hi there, my name's David. I'm a solo developer who sells websites and builds SaaS products. I'm going to take you through my day. So to catch you up so far, I started my day by drinking a coffee and then sitting to drink it while practicing some Vietnamese. I then start up my computer and do about 30 minutes to an hour of a course that I'm working on to get a new designation. Next, I update some of my website content, and then I try to get some exercise. Usually it's either running or going bouldering. I come home for a quick shower, and then I'm finally right back here for some focused, deep work. Today, we're going to be having a look at project timelines and how to reasonably set project timelines as the developer in your team. Project timelines can be a pretty hot topic because, of course, everybody wants to know when the next feature or when the first version of your product is going to be ready. And you might have some idea, but it's always going to be pretty vague until you put in the work and figure out what takes time. This being said, when you start out the project, either on your own or with a business partner, it's good to be able to put together some kind of timeline to communicate with them and to hold yourself accountable. So we're going to go over my methodology of how I set timelines. So like most solo developers, my time is my most valuable asset, and I can't allot 100% of my time to every new idea that I'm coming up with, and thus I've got to set out specific timelines. This can be very hard to do because I don't know exactly how long each thing is going to take, but I generally have a rough idea of how many times I'm going to have to sit down and focus on something to have it get fully complete. So the first thing that I do is I write out the pages or the API routes, the logic that I'm going to have to write. Anything that's going to take time, I write it out in a list. And then I write down roughly how many times I think I'm going to have to sit down and focus on something so that I can see it right from the beginning all the way to the end. So for instance, the homepage for this SaaS is just a simple landing page that's going to get users excited and get them to want to start using the app. I don't really think that's going to take me that long after I get an initial design done, so I'm going to say maybe I could sit down 2 or 3 times and get it all complete. Now, I go ahead and I do that for every step along the way. You can see here I've got the mockups, the front end, and the back end. It's all very rough, but I've put down roughly how many working sessions I think I'll need to get each piece done. Total, there's 58 sessions that I'm going to have to sit down and focus to write this entire SaaS beginning to end. Now I can consider roughly how many working sessions I get per week, and I like to go by how many I get per day. After my morning routine, I like to sit down and get a working session in, and then I'll take a break, have some lunch, and then get a second working session in. Generally, I can do 2 working sessions or 2 things a day. So with that in mind, I plan to maybe be able to work on this 3 days a week, which gives me 6 working sessions per week. If we divide our 58 total working sessions by the 6 a week, we're coming out to about 2.5 months. Now, if I'm working as a solo developer here, I can take all these tasks that I've listed out and I can take my 2.5 months and start chunking out which tasks I want done when. If I'm working with a business partner, then I now have a 2.5 month timeline that I can provide to them. And then if they want more specifics, I've got the actual tasks that make up the 2.5 months worth of work. I also really like the flexibility that comes with this methodology for setting out your timeline, because if you decide you can do more sessions per week or more sessions per day, you can easily reorganize this timeline to get a new projection on how long the whole thing is going to take you. This also gives you the opportunity to find places where maybe you're projecting that you're going to spend too much time and then dropping certain features or reducing the amount of prep time or the amount of polishing time so that you can launch much faster. Now, when you're laying out these timelines, be reasonable with what you can expect of yourself. Try to avoid putting so much pressure on yourself that it isn't fun anymore. If you try to press yourself too hard and you get too stressed, you're probably not going to be doing your best work anyways. So it's better to take a bit of extra time and let the project breathe. Anyways, that's all that I wanted to talk about today. Hopefully this helps you set a timeline in your own SaaS product, and I'd love to hear about that in the comments. Or if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.